there, YouTube. Hey, I'll bet you're here because you have one of these things and you're trying to figure out how to use it. The information that I found on YouTube, it's usually my go-to, but it kind of let me down on this, so I'm going to do my own video once I figured out how to work this thing. This is the Peacefair version that I bought on the internet. They're real cheap, 17 bucks or whatever. I've got it hooked up to a 12-volt deep cycle battery here. It's got a shunt, and this looks completely different from a lot of the things you see on the internet, but that's the shunt. On the internet, they talk a lot about the pinouts. You don't have to worry about that on this version, on this Peacefair version, because you got this USB connector that connects the shunt to the display. You've got 3 wires connected to this. This one, coming off the middle, goes to the battery positive. This one, coming off the end, goes to the load, in this case the inverter. Here's my inverter. It's the negative. And this one goes to the battery negative. And then you complete the circuit by putting the other side of your load from the inverter on the battery positive. So that's how you'll wire it, and then you just plug this USB thing in there, and presto, you've got your display. So let's talk about what this display is showing you, what this thing is and what it isn't. If you have ever used a kilowatt, it's a little device you plug into your 110 volt outlet at home, and it tells you how much amperage your appliances are drawing, and it can convert that to watts, and you can let it record over time, and it'll record watt hours or kilowatt hours. This is very similar to that. It's also a voltmeter, so it'll show you how much power is remaining in your battery, how many volts your battery is giving out. Voltage isn't really a true measure of how much capacity is left in your battery, but it's somewhat useful. I use this to power stuff in my off-grid cabin up north. It powers an inverter and some DC appliances. It's very useful insofar as I can see how much current I'm drawing. So right now, oh, it's upside down. Right now I'm drawing 4 milliamps because I don't have anything plugged into the inverter. It's just this and the inverter itself. But if I were to plug something into my inverter, you'd see that number go up. And so when I'm managing the battery at the cabin, I can turn stuff on and off or adjust the power level on various things like a fan to see how much current I'm drawing. And then it'll tell me the volts of the battery. Now it has this scale to tell you, and a little thing that says state of charge, SOC, to tell you how much power is left in your battery. But that's kind of arbitrary because it's only measuring it against the scale that you put in there. So you're going to program in, and we'll get to this in a second, you're going to program in how much is full in terms of voltage. On this battery, I just put it on a charger, let it get fully charged, and then took it off the charger, let it rest for about half an hour, measured it. I think it came to, let's say, 13.2 volts full. And then what's the minimum that you can still get the inverter to run off the battery? So let's say 11.4 volts off this battery. That's about as low as it'll go before the inverter dies. So you program those numbers in there, and this scale of how full your battery is a function of where the voltage is relative to what you think full is and what you think empty is. That's all it is. And if you think this is going to do more than that, I don't think it is. If it does, if I'm missing something, by all means, somebody let me know. Do your own YouTube video and show us how it works, because I'd love to see that. So you can just glance, you know, my other inverter just has a little voltmeter on it. It tells me how many volts. I can just glance at it and I can say 11.7, yeah, I'm getting kind of low. And this also does the same thing. What really makes it useful is this function that tells you how many amps you're drawing based on what you have turned on. So that's the basic function of this thing, and then let me show you how to program that. Okay, so first let's explain what we're looking at here. V stands for voltage, so it's 11.7 volts. 435 milliamps. If this were to increase to over 1 amp, the scale would change, and that would just say A for amps. This is watts, 5.16. Volts times amps is watts. So it's just doing the math there. This will run continuously over time until you reset it. So far running it, just testing this battery, I've got 2.25 kilowatt hours on it, and I've been running it for 60 hours. Right? Capacity, amp hours, I don't know what that is. I think it's just adding up the time and the amps. Ohms, resistance, not sure what I would use that for. And the state of charge, 25%, and then this graphic scale looks like a battery, right? And it also says SOC, so you can get state of charge at a glance. Okay, here's how you set the display. And I gotta warn you, this is a little bit squirrely. It's touchy. But I'm gonna press this button here, a long press, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I can hit set, long press. Now it's going to show me a number, 12 volts, and you see how it's cycling through the digits there. You just have to wait for it to get to the digit you want to change and then press the button and it'll go up. You can even set hundreds of volts. So let's say we decide full on this thing is 12.3 volts. So we'll wait for it to cycle around, and there's hundreds and there's 0.3, so we'll go, and there's a delay, so go slowly here. You'll go past 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to hit a long press and it's going to stay there, but what it's going to select to us is the low voltage number, the place where it thinks it's empty. So let's make that 11.5. So we can make that a 1. Again, that's that 100ths place. 0.1, no, 11.5. 3, 4, 5. You'll see what I mean when you try to do this. You got to go slow. You'll get it. And then 1, 11.5. Now, another long press. And it flashes weird there, but that's fine. So it thinks 11.5 is empty. It's currently showing us at 11.6, so the meter here is showing us almost empty. The other thing you need to do is reset these values when you're starting, reset those to 0. So again, I'll start with a long press, and then I'm going to do a short press. Set current. I don't know what I would set there. Somebody leave me a comment and tell me. Whoops. Press. Short press. Short press. Now clear, so all I have to do is hold, long press, and that's going to clear. Oops, it didn't clear. Oh yes, it did. And now I can clear here. Hold. Now it goes back to the beginning, and I do the whole thing again. Short press, short press, short press, down to here, and long press, and reset that to 0. Now I'm done. So this will begin counting, and it'll count amp hours and watt hours as we go. So that's all there is to it. And if I put it on the charger, this will go back up to, what did I say, 12.3 volts, and then this state of charge will indicate full. So I hope that was helpful. It's, it's a cool little device for the money. Don't expect it to be anything more than just a way to measure how much current you're drawing and give you a quick glance at how much voltage is in your battery. But for doing that, it's nice. Okay, well, that's it. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you later.